Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Armourer's Bench. Today we're going to take a look at a pistol that I've always really quite liked the aesthetics of, the Walther or Walther P5. The P5 was developed in the mid-1970s as a response to the West German police's continued search for a 9mm service pistol to replace the older, smaller calibre pistols in service at the time, like the Walther PP. The P5 was developed to fit the new German police specification for a small, handy pistol which could be brought into action quickly. Walther's design competed somewhat successfully against pistols from Mauser, HK and Sig Sauer. The P5's design evolved from the P38, combining the lockwork and dual recoil springs of the P38 with a shortened barrel and a full-length slide. While a shortened P38K had been produced in the early 70s, this was only an interim solution. The P38K retained the same slide and frame as the P38, but had its front sight mounted on the front strap of the slide, and none of the pistol's contours were rounded to aid drawing from or returning to a holster. In the end, only around 2,600 P38Ks were produced. Following the attack on the 1972 Munich Olympics, the West German police began a search for a new service pistol. Walther's response, the P5, was introduced in 1978. The P5 is a locked breech pistol and has a double-action single-action trigger. It uses the same short recoil operated system and locking mech as the P38. This means that the barrel and slide recoil together for a short distance before the locking block falls and allows the slide to continue moving rearward, ejecting the spent case and chambering a new round. Walther moved the P5's decocker from the slide to the frame, and this also serves as a slide stop and slide release. I would say that the P5's decocker is easier to operate with a shorter length of travel than the SIG P6's. Following the West German police specification, Walther designed the pistol to be safely and rapidly brought into action, and as a result, dispense with a manual safety. Instead, the pistol could be carried in condition 2, with a round in the chamber and the hammer down. This was safely achieved by some upgrades to the P5's hammer and firing pin. There's a recess in the pistol's hammer for the firing pin to sit. The firing pin only moves into alignment with the hammer surface when the trigger is pulled. The P5 has a 3.5 inch or 9 cm barrel and feeds from an 8-round single-stack magazine with a heel release. Like the P38, the pistol ejects from the left rather than the right, and the P5 has a stronger, more durable fully enclosed slide, which is contoured to aid in holstering. The pistol has an alloy frame with full-length slide rails and an enlarged trigger guard for use with gloves. In addition to the P5, Walther also developed a compact model for plainclothes use, which had a slightly shorter barrel, slide and a truncated hammer. The compact was introduced in 1988 and weighed in at 75 grams rather than the standard 80 grams. While earlier production guns retained the heel magazine release, the majority transitioned to a thumb release. In addition, a small number of P5 Lang or long-barreled target pistols were also produced in the late 80s. Disassembly is simple and comes directly from the P38. The slide is retracted a little until the barrel catch can be rotated. The slide and barrel can then be slid forward off the frame once the trigger has been pulled. Once we have the slide removed, we can take a look at the barrel assembly, with its fixed bushing and the locking wedge which pivots down to lock into the frame. And there's certainly some fairly complex machining which has gone into the slide and locking mech. Taking a closer look at the frame, we can see the pistol's dual recoil springs, and also the recess in the hammer for the firing pin to rest. To reassemble, we simply slide the slide and barrel assembly back onto the frame, and then return the barrel catch to the locked position and release the slide. The P5 proved to be an accurate and reliable pistol, and once it was accepted by West German police trials, along with designs from HK and Sig Sauer, the P7 and P6 respectively, it was adopted by uniformed officers of several German states. These pistols were marked BMI for the Federal Ministry of the Interior. In fact, this pistol is a BMI marked gun and dates from February 1983. The P5 also became the standard issue sidearm of the Dutch police, who purchased around 50,000, becoming Walther's largest customer for the P5. The Dutch guns were later fitted with aftermarket Hogue rubber grips, and some changes to the hammer safety were also made in the mid-90s. The Dutch police retired the P5 in 2013, replacing it with the Walther P99Q. The P5 also saw some military sales, with elements of the Portuguese Army adopting the P5, and the P5 Compact was also adopted by the British Army, selected in the late 80s for issue as a personal protection sidearm. It was designated the Pistol L102A1 and was extensively used by British troops in Northern Ireland for use while in plain clothes or when off duty. While probably one of Walther's lesser-known pistols, the P5 is a well-made, well-designed duty pistol. And while the heel magazine catch might be fiddly by more modern standards, the slide and decocker are very smooth to operate, and the trigger pull in both single action and double action modes is also pretty good. Overall, around 100,000 pistols were produced before production came to an end in 1993. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this look at the P5. If you enjoy our videos, please consider supporting us over on Patreon. Tab is an entirely community supported project, and just $1 a month really helps us keep putting these videos together for you guys. You can also support the channel by sharing the videos with friends and helping us get the word out about the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.